That's not true at all. And we are finally back for another live episode of the Kingdom. Welcome everybody across this beautiful country of ours. Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, Pincher Creek to be specific, BC, Newfoundland, and anybody else across the world. We're glad to have you here tonight. We're glad to be back, and we'll see you in 30 seconds.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Kingdom. As always, my name is Drums, and I'm joined by the brothers behind Kngdom, Regan and Jordan Headley. As we always do, about this time, we're sending it up north to see what's going on with our boy Reg. What's going on, big dog?
Gentlemen, not much, man. Just laying low. Had a pretty long week last week. Something going on every day of the week, pretty much all the way from Monday to Sunday. So had a few too many beers, had a few too many good times, but I'm recovering this week. If you could believe it or not, I harvested some beets right before the show tonight. So I don't know what's happening in my life.
At True
I'll
Farms?
leave it at that. Hey,
Did you harvest them from True Farms?
Yeah, I'm Dwight. It's over. Life's over. I've quit golf and taken up gardening.
and slinging beers.
Yeah, slinging beers. Yep. Only one shift so far though there, but it's so good. 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Did you make some tips?
It was. Yeah, I made some tips for sure. Yeah, it was busy, very busy. It was a lot of fun. It's nice to do something like that every now and then to mix it up. But that was my first shift, and I haven't had one since because the times haven't lined up. But I'll be back.
Have they invited you back, or are they laying low on you?
No. I'm on I could pick up shifts if I can, but I haven't. None of them have lined up where I could take it.
Right on.
Which is kind of exactly what I wanted. Like I didn't want any pressure of working all the time.
Being on the schedule.
Yeah, so that's perfect.
Jor, what's happening out in Rossman? It's been hot. You staying hot out there?
It's freezing here, actually. Top of the morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. Why is it so cold? That's a question that everybody's asking themselves right now. It's August the 9th. We're paying 2 carbon taxes, and my house is freezing all day. So
that means the carbon tax is working.
I guess so. So let's dedicate the show to our wonderful Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, doing nothing but great things. Every dollar we send him is spent in the best way possible. And shout out to him. This one's for you, Justin. Broke up with his wife 5 years ago.
That's news. 5 years ago,
yeah. Trickled into the mainstream news. Trev's in the chat. Anybody else in the chat tonight? We're also live on Rumble. And I'm a big fan of Rumble myself. And the reason for that is because unlike YouTube, you have to pay a premium subscription, I think it is, to get the picture-in-picture. So if I'm like watching a video, but I also want to like check something, check Instagram, send a text, with Rumble, you can actually just flip up the screen and keep going. So the video keeps going like a picture-in-picture kind of deal. So that's why I like Rumble. And so we're going to be on YouTube. We're going to be on Rumble. So welcome to everybody on Rumble. We had like 700 views on Rumble last week.
Yeah, that was crazy. Do you know if on Rumble you can like turn your screen off and it keeps playing?
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest miss on YouTube.
I agree. I cannot believe YouTube isn't doing that, but Rumble is. I think that might be, well,
I think it's part of the premium or whatever, but yeah.
For YouTube it is. You have to be a premium member.
Stupid as sin.
Do you think, I don't know. Do you think they could sell ads for more? Because if you want to watch it, your eyes always have to be on it. Like you always have to be on that screen.
Probably.
Well, I mean, like podcasts do all right with ads too.
So, but I mean, basically, like, but you're listening to the podcast, like you're not watching, you don't even really watch that ad. Like, I'm not saying the ads that come on. I'm saying like the ones that are like at the bottom. Whereas if
Oh,
you pay
gotcha,
that
gotcha.
subscription fee, then they're getting that money back a different way.
You know
I
what?
guess.
I wouldn't even be pissed off if they interrupted like the YouTube video to throw me an ad. If it was
Right.
like an hour-long
Yeah.
podcast that I'm watching but wanted to turn my
Mm-hmm.
screen off, if they started
Yeah.
throwing in ads, I wouldn't actually care.
I agree
YouTube
with that.
does have ads.
No, but I'm saying like if they allowed you to turn off the screen and
yeah.
keep listening, I wouldn't care if they popped ads in that way either.
Yeah. Agreed. Moral of the story, Rumble, we're there. Welcome, Rumble.
And X is starting to pay people out. Did you see that?
Yeah.
So. I don't know about X, man. I'm not, I don't know really what's happening there. I keep hearing both sides of it, and I'm not really sure what it is, if it's good, if it's bad, if it's whatever.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because Bosco's in the house.
I like it, honestly.
X?
You like X?
I like it, but I mean, for all that I've ever used it for, nothing's really changed.
It's still Twitter on my phone. I just must have not updated it yet.
Mine just changed yesterday.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, mine's been for a couple weeks already, probably.
So I think the changes with what's that, Reggie? Sorry.
No, I think mine's been like a week or something, or over a week, whenever it first came out.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing with we might as well talk about this for a quick second. I know most people don't really care to hear it, but with Twitter, the bad thing that I'm hearing from Twitter is that Elon's actually making people verify themselves, and in that process, you have to put in your credit card information. You pay like $10 a month, and usually, like, people hear the phrase, "If you're not paying for the product, then you're the product." But in this case, like the premium Twitter verified users still see ads. And so they're paying for the product. They're still the product. And actually the ads are more targeted. They're more valuable of a product because they verified themselves to show that that's who they are. So the ads are more lucrative, as Reggie said about YouTube. Like, they pay more for that because they know who it is.
To pinpoint them, yeah.
Verified. So I don't know. It's tough to say. He's doing a lot of good things with it too, with whatever. But anyways, Rossman is good.
Long ways around.
Yeah, rant's over. Rossman's good. We had the Glow Golf. We'll talk about that in a couple minutes, but we'll send her up to Drummy. How's the new shack? This is your second episode of the new shack.
Second episode in the new shack. Boxes are slowly getting unpacked. Like, it's still a gone show. We were on holidays all week last week, so it was just straight to the cabin. Didn't touch the house for a week, so
really
just chill, relax. Didn't do anything for a week. We just sat at the cabin on the beach. Got a couple rounds in at Rivers. Me and Luca got a round in, and then her dad and my dad were out with us as well. It's a little golf, but just a relaxing week. It was a pretty low key. Did nothing. Had some drinks and had some beach family time. It was pretty good.
Good on you, man. I don't think that if I had, I shouldn't say that, but I think it'd be pretty easy to slip into the pack, take the week to pack, take it off and pack or unpack, I guess. But you don't need that. If you got holidays, man, you just got to take it easy, I think.
Yeah, that was needed.
That's good. You look refreshed. You sound refreshed. The boys are back. We missed a week, man. We were on a big streak, I think, up until that point, but we'll get it back. We'll start her again here. On the August, like, this part of summer seems to be like the lull for everybody. Like, everybody's on holidays. Everybody's doing stuff. They don't really care about a podcast. I mean, we wanted to get one done, but we just decided that we had enough going on as it was. So Ches is in Alberta. What are you doing? Is he golfing out there? Eh? Was the last time you saying he's playing Mickelson? I don't know. Anyways, Ches, on that note, when I got your text the other day, I think it was at like 5 a.m, and I think we had Glow Golf that day, so I forgot to text you back, but I'll text you later tonight. So what do we got tonight on the show, fellies?
Let's get right into the Glow Golf recap. Hit me up, boys. How'd it go?
You missed it.
Yeah. I'm not pumped about it, but I missed it.
Doesn't look like it was your decision.
It was damn good, as glow golf always is. It's
Damn
such
good.
an experience. It's like not even golf, like it is, but like it's really not. It's just like it's a totally, like, how would you describe it, George? It's not even. It's unbelievable, actually.
It's just a lot of fun. It's good for. I think the thing that people like most about it is the fact that it's dark out. You're hitting in front of like 10 people, but it's dark. Nobody really gives a shit where your ball goes. You have enough people on your team that there's usually a decent one on a 5 or 4, whatever it is, from 110 yards for average, pretty much. And it's just good for people who don't golf competitively, but still want to golf in like a tournament or something like that. I think it's a really good setting for people to just have fun and hit the ball, hit some putts. The balls are pretty unpredictable. Like Dall's ball was flashing the whole time. There's just a bunch of funny things that happen and lots of laughs. One of the fireworks went off, almost blew into the crowd, but we did things a little bit differently this year. Last year we had a close to the pin on hole 9 for the money. This year we did the same thing, except the top 5 closest shots from hole 9 moved on to a showdown on hole 3 with glow balls. So that was pretty fun. We all kind of moved from hole 9 to the parking lot up there to hole 3, which whoever's played Rossman before, it's a very small, it's 60-yard hole. So there's carts lined up on like hole 2. There's people on the hill. There was 5 guys, and we had to go through 3 rounds of guys hitting before somebody hit the green.
Oh, really?
Just because the balls are so different.
And like always drums, like, if you hit one just over it or even short and then it goes around that back edge and then rolls back down, but it was like 10:30 at night and it was dewy.
Right.
So you weren't getting that roll down just to catch the edge of the green and then roll, like, trickle on, right? So they're all like, I would say, like, I was down there filming, and I bet you like out of 13, like 9 or 10 were sitting just like 4 inches off the green at the back of the green. It was nuts, man.
Would normally
like they
roll
could get
on.
it on there. Yeah, they would always roll on, but it was almost like better that way.
Yeah. So the 3rd round, it took the 4th shot. He finally hit the green, and then Chad went right after him, and he hit the green too. And so we had to measure it, and it was like a ball difference. So it took 13 shots. Yeah, 1 ball, less than a ball actually. So that was fun. It was just a really good night, all in all. We're actually doing another one in Birtle now. So the Birtle golf course, or somebody from the Birtle golf course, reached out to us to help them set theirs up in September. So we're going to be co-hosting it in Birtle. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun because I've never played Birtle before. I've heard actually a lot of good things.
Great track.
It. Yeah. And so the plan, I think, is that we're going to take however many guys want to come. I want to go play there during the day and get some footage of the course, get to know it a little bit, eat some food, and then kind of set things up there, and then do the glow golf that night. So that's September the 9th, I believe. It's a Saturday. And if you're listening to this and you're interested, I'm kind of in the market for a couple pals to come out there with me and help and golf in the glow golf. So anybody in the chat, anybody listening after the podcast or Rumble, of course, let me know. I haven't reached out to anybody yet, but if anybody wants to come, we'll find some room for you. So that'll be interesting. I think Birtle will be a fun course for it because it's in the valley there. I think there's a few cool holes there, so it'll be fun. We got full details coming for that early next week, I think. So keep an eye out for that on the King accounts. But other than that, what else we got on the list?
Who won? What was the score?
Sean Lawless won. His team. They had six on the team. So it's kind of a shit show. What's that?
A little stacked.
Well, Reggie had 6 too, and they were even par. So Sean was -2. He was the only team at -2, which was a score of 25. We were 26. Reggie was 27. So we beat him on the last hole. to take down our opposition within the group.
After East made like a 90-footer on 7. Not actually 90, but it was probably 25 feet.
And 7 was our second last hole.
Was there any kids out snatching balls again this year?
No, not this year. I think the best part about it is it's kind of like a social. Like right. it is basically like a social, except you get to golf the whole time. Like especially at this time of year. Last year was a little different. Drums when you were there. September long started like probably around 8 o'clock, 8:30 because it starts getting dark so early at that, like in a month from now. But it was August long this year, so we didn't actually start the golf till like 10:45. So we didn't get off the course.
Wasn't it August long last year?
No, it was September long last year. Because we're trying to figure out today why we got off there. I was talking with Scotty actually, and we were trying to figure out how we finished so early last year compared to this year. And it was like after 1 o'clock when we got off the course this year. So it's
because I think like last year we were done at midnight.
Yeah. And I remember
this year I checked my watch and it was my phone, and it was 1:30, and we were still at the course.
Oh, still at the course. Man, there was people still all over the course at 1:30. Like people didn't stop playing all night. If we didn't have to organize the damn thing, I don't think I would have either.
Yeah.
It's so fun once you, I don't know, it's just so much better than golf to me.
Good. So how many teams was it? It was full boat, right?
Full boat. Yeah, we sold out in like 12 hours this year.
It's crazy.
And I think there was about 20 to 22 teams, but there was like teams that had like 6, or teams that had like 3, kind of mishmashed together. But I think we can take on a few more teams, Reggie says, next year.
Yeah, I definitely think we could.
And why is that? Because it ends too soon.
Ends too soon. You could have a couple. Nobody's really rushing to, but we didn't really have to wait at all, and nobody's really waiting on us too badly. Mm-hmm. So
we actually tried to like be slower because it was just going by too fast. Like before you could even figure out what you were doing, it was hole 5.
Yeah, I remember the same thing last year, feeling the same, and it was like, Christ, we're done in the hole here.
Yeah. So that's a plan next year. We're gonna order more balls. We're probably gonna have maybe 3 teams per hole, I'd say, Reggie. Hey, like 3 teams of 4, pretty strict to that. And I think that'll be good. So 30, I think that's kind of the play. So it was fun. Thanks everybody for coming out. Like I said, if you're interested in coming to the next one, I know that there was quite a few teams who couldn't get into this one. It's not too far away. So hopefully we'll see you there. What else we got going on? Reggie, do you think Roscoe asked if we could play 18 holes instead?
No, 18 would be too much. But I think like if you completely throw first place aside, like if there's no prize for first place, I think you could probably get away with like 12. I think an extra 3 holes would kind of be perfect. I think a whole extra 9 would be a lot for a lot of people. Not necessarily us. I mean, obviously, the 3 of us who record a golf podcast might like golf a bit, and everybody who's in the chat listening to it might also like golf a bit. So everybody in here could probably get away with 18, but that's kind of aside from the point of it all, where there's really all types of golfers out there that night, and I think that 12 would kind of be the perfect amount, honestly. 18 too much.
Do you think 12 would mess with people?
Plus 18. The only reason I said that you couldn't have the competing score would be because not everybody's playing the same holes.
True.
But it's also everything's from 100 yards, so I don't think that really matters a whole lot. So maybe you could still do it low score.
Yeah, true. That's true. I'm still waiting for a hole-in-one at the event. I think that would be wild, and I think it's pretty doable, honestly. Like from that many shots from 100 yards, I think that'd be pretty cool.
Man, I don't know if I'm getting hacked or something, but something like keeps like popping up on my screen here and then like going down. So if I disappear, my computer's hacked. I'll try to get back in on my phone.
Who would be hacking you?
I don't have anything on this computer, so
too many XXX sites.
No, I can say that I've never used this laptop for that ever in my life.
I believe you.
It's a work laptop.
It's a work laptop. I don't want to wreck it.
I have access to it. I have a back door in it.
Yeah, it's a King laptop.
Okay.
I gotta say, two things actually. This gin that I made tonight is top notch. If I want to give people a recipe because it's so damn good. Easton made one the other day, and it's that blueberry gin that you bought me, Jor.
Mm-hmm.
And then like cut a lime in half and squeeze it in, and then just regular tonic and club soda, like half and half. But then like 2 mint leaves. We got a mint plant just out the back door, so a couple mint leaves in it. Whoa, Easton made it the other day, and I've had like 5 or 6 since because it's
refreshing.
So refreshing, like unbelievable summer drink. I don't know if I would ever have one in the winter, but pretty damn good. And then the next thing
has a mint plant.
Yeah, we got a herb planter. It's pretty good. Hopefully get some dopes in one of these years, but it's just herbs for now.
Speaking of booze, how about the liquor stores? Is your guys up there?
Such a joke.
Closed?
What? No, but what's actually happening there? What's the reason for it?
They want the same increase, right, as the cabinet?
Yeah, like the whatever workers union is on strike. So there's only one liquor store in Brandon open per day for like 5 hours. Because it's just like the manager's running it. Yeah, it's absolute shit show.
Oh, so they're not closed permanently?
Not yet. I've heard rumblings that like one of them is going to be closed permanently in town.
Well, because last week when I was in Brandon, I went to pick up some beer on 10th. No, not 10th Street. Yeah.
10th
and Vic. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was closed. It's like, yeah. What is going on?
So they only had last week. It was only open one day during the week. The week before it was open 2 days. And so one of them was like a Saturday. And so I was like, oh, perfect. It opened Saturday morning. We're going out to the lake. I can stock up my shit before we leave. So I go there at like 9:30 in the morning to get stocked up, get ready to leave. And it didn't open till 12. So I get there at 10 after 12. And it's like I was in line and I was 27th in line to get into the store. Yeah, it was an absolute gong show. But whatever.
I mean,
Carson said 5 liquor stores open province wide.
Not to go too deep here, but
go deep.
If everything keeps going up the way it's going up right now, and people's wages don't start going up or that shit starts going down, like if you have a union, like everybody's going to be in the same boat. It would never happen in our office. It can't. But like all the places that have unions, I mean, the cost of living so high right now that if the wages don't start going up, man, I don't know how people are living right now with making around that minimum wage. I really don't know how they could. I don't know.
Right, thanks, but Trudeau. I don't think, like we said, this one's for you, Justin Trudeau. I don't think just for everything.
Raising it and raising it and raising the other and then raising the other and then raising the other, like that's not the solution, obviously. No, so I don't know. It's above my pay grade.
Like it pisses me off that it's happening, but like, and I don't really agree with it all, like all the background of it also, but I think it's just the people have had enough of not being able to
for sure.
On their
like
wages.
I'm not shitting on the people striking or whatever, walkout, whatever you want to call it. It's just the inconvenient first world problems, right? I can only get my booze at one time a week. First world problems.
I mean, it's not really a first world problem though. Like if you think about it, this is just going to keep going. Like Reggie said, like it's going to hit the federal government where people are just like, why the fuck would I go to work?
But they were shut down for like a month.
Yeah, nobody even noticed. But but like people are just going to stop going to work because what's the point? But like I can't live anyways, so why would I spend 80% of my day going to work for you? Like eventually this is how things crumble, and that's kind of what we're living through right now. It's just kind of one day at a time. Things don't happen all at once, and this is just another step in it. But Reggie's right. Like, it's only going to get worse. There's
For sure.
There's literally no way that it improves right now. So we got that.
Everybody you talk to, I mean, I'm not like it is kind of first world problem still, in a sense. It is, because it could be a hell of a lot worse than it is, but things have definitely, like, I mean, I noticed majorly in my lifestyle, like, things that I've had to cut back on, or I've had to do differently in the last 6 months, especially, but even the year and a half before that. But the last 6 months has just been like, it's unbelievable, actually. Isn't it? Like, a tank of gas, I put $100 in today, and it gets me to half a tank of gas. Like,
nuts.
The worst part
like
is
everything.
that
House prices, mortgage rates, interest rates, it's just nuts.
The worst part is that people are just like, they don't want to talk about it because it's so uncomfortable. They don't want to think about it. It's just like, if they think about it, they get stressed out. And if they get stressed out, then they lose energy to do the work that they have to be done to meet demands of their life. It's like, okay, so how does this end?
Be interesting.
If nobody does anything, how does it get fixed?
Anyways, what do you do? This all stemmed from a gin. Second thing is I wanted to touch, and then we can go into other things, because it ties into golf as well. It's just like the guy that I'm listening to right now on Rogan. His name is Gad Saad. I guess it's like his 9th time on there. I'm behind the game, obviously, and Joe Rogan. It's the first time hearing him, and he said that they hooked up sports fans. Drums, you could attest to this with the Leafs, Joe, when you used to watch the Jets. I watched the Jays tonight, and it's funny, as I'm listening, I was listening to the podcast while watching the Jays game while I was eating, and he said that guys get so invested in their sports teams. They've done tests that, like, because obviously, like, for fighters or like athletes or whatever else, when you're winning, like, the guy who wins, the testosterone goes way up, and the team that loses, it goes way down. And he said that they did tests, like, they took saliva while, like, super fans were watching their sports teams, and they test their saliva, and they get like almost the exact same testosterone boost from watching their favorite team as the athletes who win the game do. And that's why people care so much about sports. And then I'm watching the Jays game and they win 1-0, and I'm like so pumped. Like, if they lose, I'm probably like, I come on in the podcast, I'm kind of pissed off a bit. Like, it does affect my mood every night, man.
I can see that.
It's kind of
for sure. Well, like, everything else in the world affects testosterone negatively.
Right.
Like, the phone in your pocket is just zapping your balls nonstop. Like,
right.
Everything we do is not good for it.
We might have to have a new segment on here called Reggie Rogan. You can bring your latest findings from Rogan this week, Reggie.
And he's so good, man. Wow.
It's just nice to have somebody. It's nice to have somebody other than myself talking about this bullshit. So, and Drummy too. Drummy picks up the slack once in a while on here. But anyways, let's move on to some golf.
I meant it as like to segue into golf too, like how pumped up we get watching like our golfers, like when they're down the stretch. You don't anymore, sure, because it was Tiger. Like, I'm saying when Tiger did it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Oh, there's lots of talking over each other here tonight. Is there a lag or something, or what's going on?
Maybe a little bit.
We just fired up.
Bit of both, I think.
Reggie rants. What do you think of that one?
Not bad. What? But that's how you would have felt with Tiger, is what I'm saying. And it's the same way I feel with Rory now. Like, if Rory blows a golf tournament on 18, like, I'm genuinely like pissed. Like, I don't even want to do anything after. Like, it affects my life. Like, it's kind of crazy how that happened.
Yeah, I don't think I have that for anybody in golf now.
Would you say that Maple Leafs would be the only thing you're really that attached to?
I mean, I don't think I'm as attached to them as I used to be.
Oh,
I don't know. The past few years have kind of just put a damper on all that shit for me too.
Right. Which is fair.
we got a spill.
Oh boy.
I would say that the Blue Jays and Rory are really the only two athletes or sports teams that really would affect my life.
None of your 7 hockey teams?
No, I don't really get that upset about hockey.
Okay, I'm never the guy to bring us back to golf here, but let's talk about some fucking golf for a while here.
Okay, well, I think you've got something to talk about there, sir.
Round of my life.
Round of your life, the big 6'8",
6'9",
6'9", even better.
369. Yep. So yeah, where do you want me to
Congrats,
begin?
buddy.
Thank you.
You had our boy Drake out with you, Drizzy.
Drizzy was out. He was. It's pretty fun to have him there. Actually, maybe. I mean, obviously, I love playing with the Moose week in and week out. But me and Drake, we're just playing good golf. We were up in the match. Nothing really crazy, honestly. Like just made some putts, hitting good shots. No doubles, which helps a lot. Helps the scorecard a lot. Helps the morale a lot. And yeah, it was kind of crazy, honestly. I mean, I feel young, but I'm getting kind of up there in age, and like for the last 10 years of my life, probably I write down some goals every December or January, whatever it is, and shooting under par is always on there, or breaking 70 is always on there. And I've come close quite a few times. Like it always ends in heartbreak every time. Last hole, second last hole. But it was finally good for things to just kind of come together and finish her off. And made a 15-footer on hole 18 for a birdie to seal the 69. And
Nice.
I mean, even if I would have two putted from there, I still would have been 70, which is 1 under. But
It's
69 was just
69.
69 just sounds so much better than 70.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So I would have been pumped if I missed the putt on 18, but 69 making that putt. And the funniest thing was, not the funniest, but the best thing was, it was probably about 15 feet left to right. And right when I was about to hit it, somebody was working in the tennis courts. And I don't know what they were doing working at like 9:30 at night or 10 o'clock at night. But right before I was about to hit, right when I took my backstroke, took back my putter, somebody just started like a jackhammer or some sort of thing in the tennis courts. And so I hit the putt anyways. And as soon as I hit it, I was like, you fucker. And then it was going right on line. And so I obviously forgot about that as fast as possible. And I was like, oh my God, it's going to go in. Drops. And I just let out the biggest, like you guys have heard me yell on the golf course before, but like
No.
I let out the biggest yell, fist pump, double fist pump. I think me and Drake might have hugged. I don't think we kissed, but it was a pretty emotional, cool moment for me. I kind of wish, I was thinking on the way home, I was like, I kind of wish I would have got it on video just to rewatch it. But at the same time, I think that whenever you know you're on video, you play
Changes.
differently.
Yeah.
Tense up.
And I think that I don't know, I can't say for sure, but it wouldn't have felt as real. And I might not have made the putt just because I knew that I would have had more expectations of it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I was glad that it was organic. And I don't know, it's something I'll remember forever. Cause like I said, it was a very long time in the making and pretty cool.
Unreal. Well, cheers to that, buddy.
Cheers, boys. Thank you.
Cheers, buddy.
And I guess the logical next step is 59.
Yep, exactly. Did you win the match? Is the bigger question.
We won the match big time.
That's good.
I think we were 7-up. I told Drake we should get some 7-up shirt.
I think Drake had some beef with Cuz there that night too.
Why?
Colby yelled in his backswing, not realizing
Oh,
that Drake was about to swing. So then when you guys came over and saw us on, what were we on? You were on 8, we were on 12. Drake's like, start yelling at that motherfucker's backswing. I'm like, what? And he genuinely looked pissed. And then
He
like,
was rattled.
Yeah, like 4 holes later, Colby's like, yeah, did Drake come over and say anything to you guys? I'm like, yeah, he was pissed off, man.
We thought he did it on purpose.
No, he felt bad. He felt like shit.
Yeah, so we were on hole 5, and Cuz was on hole 8, and they were driving up the fairway on 8, and Drake bombed a drive, and he was like 30 yards or 40 yards from the green, and right in his backswing, Colby yelled Drake, and he sculled it over the green, and ended up taking a bogey on that hole. So he was pissed, but we thought he did it like on purpose, like in his backswing, but Colby didn't mean to do that, so we forgave him.
He thought it was practice swing, and then quickly realized his mistake.
What about, okay, so Karst is talking about testosterone boost with 58 from Bryson. I've seen a lot of different things on that, and I feel like people are just trying to downplay it a little bit, but 58,
you can't downplay that at all.
He needed a par on the last, I think, to shoot 59, and he birdied. Is that what happened?
Yeah. It's still crazy. Like, whoever you're playing with, whatever tournament it is or whatever league it is, a 58's a 58 on a golf course. It's incredible.
And it's a professional league. Like, say what you want about Live, but they're not playing like...
Like, I can't shoot 58 on a mini putt.
Did you see his quote? That he used to play the forward tees when he was a kid and get used to breaking 60s?
Really?
He said just make that many birdies and, like, get used to it, like, being that much under par. He said he used to play from the forward tees all the time and just, like, murder the tees and just, like, break 60s all the time. So he got used to it. So that shows you how good those guys are.
Do you think that does more good or bad?
I say good.
I say good too, honestly, because you can always learn to hit it further. You can't learn to make birdie putts.
Well, I was gonna say when like now that you broke par, like it's like.
I agree, honestly. Like it was a big barrier for me.
I mean, I'm kind of back in that spot. Like, because it's probably been like, well, I guess I might have broke par last. I don't know if I broke par or not last year. It seems like it's like I've been 72, like, or 71 and 72, like 6 times this summer, 7 times. And I just like can't make that putt on like 17 or 18 to like propel myself under par. Like it's so crazy, and it's like I don't know.
It's legit though.
It's
the crazy thing, like this isn't really like it could have been a 68 story. But on hole 17 at Wheat City, I was -2. So I was -2 going into the last 2 holes, and I hit the worst drive of the day. I knew I was -2 and basically just had to par in to shoot a 69, which is very attainable. But I blocked, went out to the left there, and the left's dead because it's long grass.
117.
So me and Drake were scrambling to find it in the long grass. We finally found it. And I was about 175 or about that, 175 or 180 yards out. But I had to get over the trees in front of me. So I hit an 8-iron out of there, out of the long grass. Probably the best shot of the day, honestly. And I was about a foot off the green, in front of the green, in 2, after finding the ball somehow. And fucking 3-putted from there. I left it about 5 feet short, just out of like the zone, and missed the putt for bogey. No, I bogeyed the hole. I missed the putt for par. So it started to creep into me, and I almost blew it, but I found the ball, and then I hit a good one, and then I tried to blow it again, but made a birdie on the last. So it ended well. It was a happy ending. So now I think that, like I said, it should be pretty easy to do every night.
Well, you never know, really.
We'll see tomorrow.
We'll see tomorrow. We got the last night of regular season in the league. So make or break, there's about 5 or 6 teams on the bubble of playoffs, and it's supposed to be rainy. So I think it'll be a fun night on the golf course. I love when conditions are shitty. eat it up.
This is the first round of the year that we've had that wasn't like perfect weather out there.
Mm-hmm. Well, it has rained here for a fucking month. Sorry for all the F-bombs here.
Definitely not getting monetized on this one.
Yes.
Yes, Cam.
Cam said, don't you hate them when people mention your grade score when you only have a couple to go? Yes, but I also have it in my own head, and I'm the only one that, like, you know, I know. But the funny thing is like Drake's taking a picture of me on hole 17. He posted it on his account, but he didn't all day. He had been watching my balls, everybody's balls. Like, he has almost eyes better than you, Reggie. And I was like, come on, Drake, I'm counting on your eyes here to find this ball. He's like, why? Like, match is pretty much over. I think we were 5 up at that point. And he's like, what are you at? I'm like, 2. He's like, +2? I'm like, no, -2. He's like, what? When we were looking for the ball in 17. And then all of a sudden you just turn it into overdrive. I was the one who ended up finding it, but he didn't know that I was -2 at that point. And it actually probably helps because there was less pressure on me, you know, because I didn't really think that anybody else knew where I was at. So
for sure.
So yeah, Cam's got a good point there. But he helped me find it. So
the best rounds ever are like the ones where you don't realize how good things are going. And all of a sudden you make like one birdie or one eagle and you're like, holy shit. Mm-hmm. It's like crazy actually. But like you said,
know where you're at the whole time though.
Yeah, sort of. I've had a couple where I didn't really. You kind of just get zoned into the company you're with, and then you're like, holy shit.
It is. It's different when you actually have to think about where you're at, like kind of adding scores in your head versus like on the other side of it where you know you're like +7 or +8 and you need to get this to break 80 or whatever it is, and without shooting a horrible score, you know exactly where you're at for those rounds.
Sometimes you just get in the zone. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a cool feeling. But like you said, the biggest thing about those rounds when you have success is that you cut out those fucking double bogeys, man. They're like the worst thing on earth. And I'm like, that's the most frustrating part in golf for me right now is like, I'll be like going along, like having a good round. And I just have like 1 or 2 shots around. I'm like, what just happened? Like what? I'm probably hitting my wedges the best I've ever hit them in my life right now. But like, I'll hit like just the weirdest tee shot or like the weirdest, like last night I was 3 over through 2 and I brought it all the way back and I missed like a 5-footer on 8 to get back to even. And then I got to number 10 and I just like cold topped one into the river. Like I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, and then everything's just, I don't know. My long game is just so pathetic right now. It's like, it's so sporadic. I've never had it for a couple of years where it's been this bad that I could just make a double just like that without even. The worst is making a double when you don't even have a chance to save anything. It's just you lose a ball like that one I topped in the river last night. Like that's just gone. I can't go in there and find it and like make a play with it. That ball is just gone. And then you're scrambling so hard. And then the biggest thing about like playing and scoring good is just consistency. And then if your putter gets hot, then anything can happen.
Yep. Agree with that big time.
Like I think the biggest tip
and you don't even have to make every putt either.
Actually. I'll save this for the seg. Actually, I'll just save my seg right now.
All right, we got a mid-episode segment. Reggie's Stroke Saver coming up.
I think that the biggest thing that you could ever have in golf, I think it's applicable to any course that will play anyways. For probably anybody listening to this podcast outside the guys that play in like the highly competitive events, I think that if you have a shot that a fairway finder that you can hit all the time, that's like between 215 and 235, and you can hit that shot all the time, and you're comfortable hitting that shot, and you can just put your ego aside. And yeah, there are holes when drivers make sense, but there's more holes where you need to hit that shot in that yardage. And if you hit that shot on every hole on most courses, and you could find the fairway, you just had such a confident swing with that one club, like your scores would go down like tremendously. If you could hit the fairway at 230 every hole, I don't know how you could shoot over par.
I see, and I think I would disagree with you there. This might be the first Reggie Strokes saver that I've ever disagreed with. But I think the premise of this is right. Like finding something 230 that you know what it's going to do. But I've also been
Safety
in the
valves.
position, I've been there before where the only club that I could do that for me was my 3-wood. And it worked well. Like really well. But you just feel like such a pussy. So what I would flip that on is like learn how to find a shot, whatever it is, with your driver. That if you have to put it in play, you can, because I have that.
But I'm not so much saying like holes where you can step up and bomb it, or like
I'm not saying
like
that either.
holes.
I'm saying like with a driver in your hand and it's an open fairway, you kind of get used to that driver, like whether it's whatever you're going to do with it. But you still have the potential to hit it a long ways if you connect it. If you have the option to do it. But at the same time, if it's tight or whatever it is, and you know you have to hit a fairway, you have a shot with the driver that can find the fairway. I don't know, maybe not, but
Yeah, I agree, and I think it's easier for you because you hit like a cut and you have a lot of control in your driver right now.
right. But I
What I'm
didn't
saying is
always,
like
is what I'm
right, but
saying.
also with that shot, I've found a lot that under pressure, that shot to try to find that exact, like to hit your driver 230 yards
Not
is
230 though, but
no,
like
but that's what I'm
in
saying.
play,
That's
in
I'm
play.
saying that spot, that 230 yards on a lot of golf courses is like the spot, like say on hole 10 at Gilbert, hole 11 at Gilbert, like
Oh,
those
so you're
shot
thinking like the second
hole
shot too,
15. No, no.
right?
Right, like how many holes at Wheat City could you par with like a 3-wood distance if it's in the fairway?
Right. Yeah, because you'd be like 120 out or 130 out
Right,
every
like
hole.
ask Roscoe if he's still in the chat. Like how many he's consistent as hell with his woods. He could still par the course with his 3-wood. Never hit driver.
Yep, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm not saying it can't be driver. I just know so many people who the reason why like they hit their iron so good, like they hit it good up until 190 and they just don't have, and I've never realized it more so ever than this summer. Like the only way that I feel comfortable to hit like that 230 would be to like bunt a driver. Like I can't hit a 230-yard shot right now. I don't have that fairway finder, and it is so hard to navigate golf courses without that shot. Because then you end up just hitting driver, and then you hit the driver in the bush, and then you're hooped. And so many people are like that because they don't have anything above that 6-iron that they really feel confident to hit. Because that's the hardest range to hit. So if you just find a club and find something, a shot even, like if it's a cut, it doesn't really matter what it is. If you could just have a shot that if you need to hit the fairway, you have that. Like I think that's the most important part of golf. Honest to God, I think it is.
So from your standpoint right now, then what's your game plan?
I can't get to that
What's your
spot.
club?
I can't get to that spot on
I
a lot
know.
of
So
holes.
what are you going to do right now?
I have to get to a driving range and learn that 225-yard shot. I had it last year and I had it the year before, but I just don't have it right now.
Yeah, and honestly, that's probably all it's going to take. Like, just go out there for an hour or two and figure it out.
Yeah.
What's your 230 club?
It would probably be like that driving iron I have, or a hybrid.
Yeah.
But it's tough, and then you get out there and you're like, you don't have, like, say that you don't have that confidence in that shot. Like all it takes is like either one, playing lots, or two, going to the range and like basically finding out how to hit it when there's not a gun to your head. Because a lot of times when you pull it out, like it's a tough shot, right? I don't know. That's what I found that I'm struggling the most I've ever struggled in golf with, is that area. And I'm coming up out of shots and I just can't do it. But weird.
No, I'm with you because I don't have that club either. So I'm be eager to see what I could do if I had that consistency.
Like Ross says, like, or even more so clear, like the guys that win that tournament outside of Fawcett, like, and Thiessen pumps that 2-iron that he's got, but like Unger just hits it down the middle, like 240. Jacobson hits his 3-wood down the middle, 240. Like those guys just find the middle, and then you just have to get anywhere on the greens, and then you can make pars. But you're taking double out of the equation, basically, if you have that shot.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, and I probably maybe worded it the wrong way, but like,
I know what you mean. You're so deadly with your driver. You could basically hit any shot.
it's not even that. It's just like that's what the main change has been in my game that has helped. And my main argument here is that I had a club that I could hit 230, but it just didn't pour into the rest of my game as well, because then maybe I would find a hole where I thought that I could hit a driver finally, and because I hadn't hit it all day, it goes out. And that's 2 strokes that I had saved on other holes, but all of a sudden I just lost it there. And so then you just get frustrated, and it trickles into other parts of the game.
But you're not really disagreeing with what I'm saying. Your driver is that club right now. Like, your driver is your fairway finder right now.
No, it is an addition.
It is.
I don't know.
It is, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, you need to find a club, whether it be your driver or something else.
Mm-hmm.
If you're confident with your driver's always the best play. Always.
So
but if you're not,
would you then say that if you can hit your driver, should you just take it out of your bag?
You might as well. I might as well not have my 3-wood in my bag right now. I can't hit it. I got to go to the range and learn how to hit it, but there's no sense. The only time I pick it out of my bag in the round, I'm so scared to hit it that I just come up out of it. And
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
So, yeah, I don't have that fairway finder. And I did with my driver for a long time this summer, and I've lost that. And now I realize how in trouble I am if I don't have a driver. But then, like, would you say you're as good with your 3-wood now as you were with your driver? Or as good with your 3-wood now as you were with it when you weren't hitting driver?
Yeah.
Think so? That's good. Because I feel like if you don't use a club for a long time, you kind of forget how to hit it, and you don't
there's
have
less
as much
bad
confidence
thoughts
with
too.
it. Right.
Yeah. I think that probably the main takeaway from all that back and forth was that if you don't have that club, then find it, whatever that takes, whether that is, I mean, I hate to advocate for buying new clubs, but sometimes that's what needs to be done. Like, get fitted for a club, find some confidence that, and if not, just go to the range for a couple hours and learn how to hit it again. And until you do that, you're pretty much only screwing yourself over, I think, by leaving it in your bag and thinking that this could be the night that my club starts working.
Mm-hmm. It's actually kind of crazy how mental it is.
That's what I mean. Like, that's just not how golf works. And from my experience anyways.
No, not even close. It's so crazy.
It's all confidence, right?
100%.
Yes, sir.
Like, Bryson's obviously on, I guess, to transform from that, like, how important is confidence in golf? I mean, obviously it's super important. So if you're Zach Johnson right now, he's the captain, right? Zach Johnson.
Why is Zach Johnson the captain? I couldn't think of a person I'd want less to be my captain than Zach Johnson.
Like, are you picking Bryson over Justin Thomas right now?
100p.
First thing I'm doing is firing Zach Johnson.
You think anybody wants
yourself?
You think anybody wants Bryson on the team?
The winners.
It depends. Do you want to go to the Ryder Cup and, like, you know, hang out and play video games, or do you want to win the Ryder Cup?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I do know what you're saying, Reg. Like we said, I think it was last pod when we were talking about JT. Like, JT and Spieth together, unbreakable. They win every match, right?
They were.
But they were. But this guy doesn't look like he knows where he is right now.
Oh, well, he played pretty good on the weekend. He missed the playoffs by one shot, and he bogeyed like 17. Yeah.
Compared to where he should be, he's nowhere near it. I don't know. I don't think they lose either way.
Yeah.
Really? I don't think it matters. But I would still probably take the hot hand in this one. and take Bryson.
Maybe take them both. Maybe you don't have to choose between the two, but
maybe.
Who do you gas on though?
Kngdom?
Who knows? No, you
Yeah, I
can't
wouldn't
gas
be
Wyndham
taking
because he's
Wyndham.
in with points.
Is he?
Yeah, he has to be.
Oh, yeah.
Him and Harmy.
Harman's in too.
Man, US actually is like in trouble of losing because they have to take these guys that got hot. Like seriously, Wyndham
I
Clark
hope the US
and
gets
Brian and the Harm Dogger on the team. Auto, like those are your auto picks now. I don't know.
Honestly, the only reason I used to cheer for the US, obviously, because Tiger was on the team, or he was coaching, or he was some part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going full bore Europeans this year. I was going to say Euros, but turn it into European.
Huh. I'll probably. I don't know.
What do you mean?
What is
your
it?
guys on the European.
Your guys.
Yeah, I know. I like a lot of the Americans though.
Who? Spieth?
I like Spieth a lot. I like Ricky.
Yeah. I like Ricky.
Yeah,
too.
Ricky.
Is DJ on the team?
Probably not. He sucks right now.
I'd still take him over JT too.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough to argue that.
DJ?
He was world number one for a long time.
I think DJ just collected his 100 schmil and is just sailing.
Doesn't give shit. Yeah.
Couldn't give.
I also think that all those guys get along pretty well with DJ, and he's just a chill guy.
I think he's a very chill dude. And it brings Paulina out. So, yeah, I would definitely take him.
You have to factor that in.
It has to be. It has to be factored in.
Yeah.
Like ZJ's probably got a little pros and cons list.
That guy sucks, actually.
Oh, he's shitty.
He's my least favorite golfer in history, maybe.
Oh, more than Keegan?
They're close, man. Honestly, they're very close.
They're
so similar. Yeah, oh yeah. Like he's just a weenie in those stupid sunglasses he wears. Like, why are you wearing those? You're like a millionaire. You don't have to wear those.
That's why, because he probably got paid $1 million to do it.
So tough.
You guys need to take a look back at David Duval's glasses that he was rocking for a while.
Was Oakley's?
They were like this big, man.
Yeah.
I really don't understand the small golf sunglasses, though. And I've never been a fan of those under any circumstances on any person in Earth.
Like ZJ's?
Yeah.
I don't like the way Ricky wears his either. That'd be my one knock on Ricky. Like he looks like an idiot, and somebody has to tell him. No? And he wears them like up into his hat. I don't know. Like I love Ricky, but man, it's tough to look at him when he's got his shades on.
I thought the exact same thing when Ricky won. I was like, man, I'm cheering for you, Rick, but you look like a dummy with those sunglasses on.
Yeah. Take those off and I'll start cheering for you again. But
and those are kind of known as like golf sunglasses, right?
Yeah. But they started with Duval, didn't they?
I'll show you pictures of Duval ones.
He had like the big ones, like the baseball ones. And then I think somebody probably said something, and they made those ones.
Man, what about that guy that wore the goggles? Right?
Oh, you remember that guy that had like them over top of his head?
Yeah.
They wrapped around the top.
Who am I looking at here?
David Duval.
David Duval. Brain sometimes shuts off when you're live. David Duval sunglasses. Was it David Duval? Yeah. There it is. There they are.
Another shitty sunglass guy is Henrik Stenson. The guy's got bad sunglass style.
Who has the worst style in golf, would you say?
Hideki.
Yeah. Hideki's combos are just
weird. I would say Hideki all around. Like everything about it.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know that I would
like Hideki's the only one that like popped into my mind really fast when you asked him.
Then you're probably onto something there. This is a shitty picture, but
this guy.
And I don't think it's horrible. He just looks really like plain and shouldn't, but also wears like weird color combos. I don't know.
Yeah, Hideki, like he wears yellow and browns. Also, I was gonna say Adam Scott. That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah, he's got bad style.
Like clothing, the putter. Like Adam Scott's probably.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
fucking nuts.
they call him
that?
the Oakley overtops. Like the shades go over top of his head instead of around his ears.
Those are
I
ridiculous.
remember those.
Like that guy's insane.
Like he looks like a fucking Marvel villain.
This was in 2018. He wore these.
No,
Yes.
I would have thought like 01, 02.
Like this guy's a
Look at that.
maniac for wearing those.
Yeah, those stupid things.
You see Duval's?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Roscoe,
Who's
we're not
two-time
at
major champ? ZJ?
yeah. Roscoe,
Yeah.
we're not at the Tamarack, so you don't have to wear those for me. And you should probably do yourself a favor and not wear that. Hideki with his yellow shoes, like, oh man, Hideki's got terrible style. Bring up,
But
if you could screen share, bring up Hideki with his, just type in Hideki Matsuyama striped shirt. Like some of those striped shirts he wears have to be the worst golf shirts ever made.
oh, I know
And isn't
exactly
it-
what you're talking about.
Isn't it Nike? Isn't he Nike?
No, it's like Strixon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's Strixon gear though, but he's sponsored
No,
by
I
Strixon.
don't know. It's
for sure.
horribly bad though. And like those hats with like big Strixon written on there. Like, somebody get this guy a different contract, please.
What was Buddy with the flipped up hat? Jesper.
Jesper?
Parnevik. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty shitty style.
I think
that's a
Do you think Poltz had shitty style?
yeah.
Even for like
Don't-
that 04 to like 08 era where it was like super bright colors, white pants and shit.
Well, people are
Spiky
on
hair.
him for sure. He's popular, but looking back on it, it's pretty bad.
It looks ridiculous. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but everything looks bad looking back.
Very true.
Did you find that, Trevor?
Well, I have one.
Man, is it the brown one? Brown striped?
No, this one's actually kind of pimp. He looks like he should be working at Good Burger though.
Yeah, that's not the worst. That's not the worst.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
They're making a new one.
No, are they?
How could you make
Yeah.
another gold or Good Burger?
I think they might be doing like a TV. You know how like Full House and all those shows from back in the day are like redoing it, where it's like their kids are involved now. I think it might be some dumb shit like that.
The best thing to do with that is just don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Didn't Mighty Ducks do the same thing?
it's terrible.
Whatever happened
Yeah.
with that?
I watched 2 episodes
Flopped?
and then realized I wasn't 7 years old, so gave it up.
They need to make another heavyweight. Nah, that
It's
wouldn't
crazy
be
that
wrong.
like half of the cast and heavyweights is in Mighty Ducks, and like all the kids from like that era of movies, they're all in the same shit.
It's actually kind of crazy that I'm looking at Hideki's style right now. I don't know if it's as bad as I think it is. I think it's
That's
just
what
in
I was thinking
majors.
too.
In majors,
Maybe-
they put a couple really dumb outfits on him, and that's like when you see him the most.
Yeah, maybe it's like 2 or 3 that stand out at you.
Yeah,
There's some Tony ones that are terrible too.
yeah. Some of the Nike outfits are bad
Yeah.
Okay, who has best style in the PGA /
right
lift?
now. I'll probably be. I mean, I would say that Nike's the best in the game when they have good outfits. Like Tom Kim's got pretty good style.
Well, Nike's just good because that's all they have to wear. Like you even look at Max
Yeah.
Homa, like he's got MasterCard, he's got fucking GM.
Yeah,
on his
he's got
hat,
stupid,
like
yeah.
something on his collar, American Express or something.
I think that's the best thing about Nike. Like that's all. That's so sweet.
I agree.
Rory, that's what I was gonna say. Rory too. Rory's just got good style, good swagger. Like,
You know who I don't mind is Billy Ho.
What?
I don't
With
like
the
that.
BDO hat?
RLX.
Well, other than like the logos and stuff, like everything. Yeah, I don't mind his style.
Actually,
Wow.
you know what I was thinking the other day, Drums? Because it stemmed from Billy Ho. But like I have to give a lot of credit to BDO for what they're doing in golf right now. Like they're sponsoring, like they're the premier sponsor of Golf Canada. They're sponsoring all those events. They sponsored Billy Horschel. Like those are some big moves for a company who I worked for 8 years, who did not spend one dime on advertising in sports. I mean, they had Hockey Canada, I think, but like they kind of came into golf at the perfect time in Canada right now.
Hockey Canada is a dumpster fire. Everybody had to walk away from for a bit.
But no, like shout out to whoever's making the decisions at BDO for hopping on the golf bandwagon, because that's a nice move. Like the Blue Jay or the MMP had the Blue Jays thing in forever in left field, and they blew their load on that. But BDO has golf now in Canada, which is, I think, going in a different direction than, well, I shouldn't say baseball will always be around, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys, you don't like the Cam Young MLB logo?
No.
I like Cam Smith's hair and mustache look.
That's about it.
I'd call that
Actually,
a style.
Some of his gear is pretty weird too.
What about Hovland?
No. You know who's got sick style, actually? It's another Nike guy, but it's like a different kind of Nike. Is Jason Day. Jason Day has really good style.
He's always got some like colors I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Like magenta.
As much as I chirped Colin Morikawa's little powwow that he had with picking out one shirt, he has pretty decent style too.
Yeah, he does.
Clean. He's got clean style.
I was thinking the same for Xander. He's got clean style too.
Except for the Adidas hat, kills him.
I don't mind it, honestly. I don't hate it. Reggie, should we talk about the Prairie Scratch Tour? Should we do Fix Your Divots? We got a good one tonight.
Yeah, Prairie Scratch Tour, man. That thing, they're killing it in Manitoba. And I think it's actually it's kind of doing not only a good, competitive, fun place to play. I think that they're also, by doing these events and by doing so many competitive events, I think it's actually helping the overall caliber of Manitoba golfers in general, because they get that much more competition within Manitoba, but they don't have to go to these other provinces. We finally have something in Manitoba that's raising so many good golfers, and if you're playing against good competition, everybody knows your level of game goes up also. So the Prairie Scratch Tour is exactly what Manitoba needed at this point in time, with everything trending upwards in Golf Canada right now. We got 5 Canadians in the FedEx playoffs, which is pretty unbelievable. So I think that the Prairie Scratch Tour is doing exactly what needs to happen in Manitoba right now. They had the event on the weekend. Jor, maybe touch on it. What was it called? Was it the end of this? No,
it was the summer showdown at Bridges.
At Bridges, right?
Yeah. Drew Jones took it home.
Drew Jones and Eric Proke was up there as well for after day one.
Jordy, Lutz shot pretty good too. I think he was even through. No, was he? Or was that the first round?
I think he's. I'll tell you in 1 second.
Yeah, check her out.
Jordy finished second, actually.
Yeah.
Jordy finished second. Adam Ingram, which I'm guessing is DI's son, was third. There's some sick players on this tour. Jorah, we touched on the weekend. We have to get out there next summer. This summer hasn't really allowed for it, but I think next summer we will try to get to a couple events. And head over their Instagram page. It's a pretty cool follow. I love the live leaderboard feature on it. If I got nothing else going on, I creep on that and see what's going on. It's pretty sweet to follow. And it's also adds like that extra layer of professionalism on this tour with the live leaderboard. I love that.
I also love the live videos that they have. Like this year, whoever was doing it was at a few different holes, getting different players, hitting different putts, shots. I love that stuff. I wish that it was cheaper to be able to do that, honestly. Like to be able to hire somebody to get a good crew out there to film those shots and put it on Instagram. Like I love following that stuff. If it's a guy I don't know, I still like just seeing how he hit the shot, because it's so different watching guys hit shots under pressure in a tournament versus just like out casually golfing. There's just something about it that I want to see what happens for amateur golfers. I don't know what it is.
I also think that I mean, I kind of just said it, but I feel like this has kind of been going on already in the States for a lot of years, where people from their own state really know who the top amateur golfers are in their state because there's so much coverage on it. And I feel like this Prairie Scratch Tour is almost like giving Manitoba a chance to like look into who the top golfers are in Manitoba. And then there's videos of them, so you can put a face to the name, and then you can kind of. It's cool. It's really. I wish it was around 10 years ago, but it's awesome that it's around now. It's going to be really good for Manitoba golf and Canadian golf as a whole.
At the same time, Reggie, I think that like just the things that they're doing on Instagram, like we've had the Manitoba golf amateur events, like the mid-am, the amateur, the rural amateur, but it's like only the golfers, only the hardcore golfers really give a shit and look at the standings. And I think that that's what the Tamarack has been doing right for so long. Like they have coverage in the Brandon Sun. People who don't really love golf still give a shit about who's at top leaderboard of the Tamarack. And I think that that's the same kind of thing they have going with Prairie Scratch right now, is that they have leaderboards, they're on Instagram, they have videos. Like Manitoba Golf just didn't do that.
Mm-hmm. They reach a big audience.
Like the amateur stuff, they were appealing to like hardcore golfers. And I mean, they did a good job of that. I couldn't tell you who won 2 years ago, the amateur, but I know who won the summer showdown at Bridges this year for Prairie Scratch. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So anyways, with that, Prairie Scratch sponsors the segment called Fix Your Divots, which has been a pretty big success, I think, through the social media. People seem to like it. I think that it's a really positive thing for anybody who follows our stuff. I think that people don't really realize sometimes what they're doing wrong or stupid on the course. And so this is a good way to kind of ground them a bit, including us. So Drums, what's the Fix Your Divot tonight?
Yeah, so this week's Fix Your Divot came from Josie. And it is play from your correct tees. Played behind a group on the weekend that should not have been playing from the black tees and basically jammed up the entire course. Now, again, part of this, and I always say this when stuff like this pops up, is part of the marshal's duty. This is what a marshal should be employed for. But still, you got to know it in yourself to either play from a closer tee or whatever the case is, play from where you're capable of playing from.
Yes.
And it's funny we mentioned Bryson playing from the red tees, which is like the flip side of this.
Right.
He probably should have been playing from the back tees, but he's playing from the red tees to get himself comfortable with making birdies. And Drums, you said it was the Marshall's issue, which it is for sure. But also, like if you think of every good golf course you've ever gone to, there's a starter there. And the starter usually tells you, based on your handicap, what tees you should be playing if you've never played there before.
Right.
We can't exactly expect that in Manitoba. Weed City had that for a while. I think for a year or two, there was a starter there. But it's gone now. But I can understand wanting to play from the blacks because it's variety. You hit different shots into greens. You get to practice hitting longer irons into greens. But there's a time and there's a place for it, right? Course is packed. I don't know it's the best time to be hitting from the black tees. Course is wide open. Literally do whatever you want.
Yeah, if it's a Wednesday afternoon and there's nobody out there, have at her. But if it's prime time and there's a league going off or something like that, yeah, smarten up.
Yeah. I think it goes both ways too, honestly.
We got jammed up in league last week. We were the first group off, and we ran into a group of, I think it was 5 actually, on the second hole. And what hole did they let us pass on? 7 or 8? I can't remember now. But they were quite slow. And fortunately, we got by them, but they jammed the entire league up after that. Like, it was crazy. We finished like an hour and a half before the last group did.
Seriously?
Yeah, it was
That's
nuts.
so annoying, man. God, I hate that shit. Honestly.
Yeah, and reverse shout out to Waters, who tried giving us shit for it. He's like, "Did you guys just finish?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, we're at OJ, so probably half an hour ago." He's like, "Well, how 4 hour round? What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, it wasn't like we were waiting the whole time. Like, what do you want us to do, Waters?"
Reverse shout out to Waters. Unreal. Trust him to do that too. Come on, Watts.
Trev said that's on the course for letting a 5 some out. You guys should have seen what was happening at Rossman Lake this weekend. It was nuts. Long weekend. Everybody comes out, does whatever they want. There's no rules. We played in a group of 7, so we have to take some responsibility for that. But there's a but. There was nobody behind us the entire time. And if there was, the second we saw them, we just would have waved them through. I don't know if that's like a cure to it, but like it's better than holding people up, I think.
Yeah, the trouble is if it's really busy, which we saw that it really wasn't. If it was really busy, that doesn't work, and we would have just split up probably. Because you're going to be holding every group up, and then it's going to get really slow.
But at the same time, if it's really busy and you're waiting on every hole, it doesn't really matter at that point. You could have
but if there's nobody ahead of you, basically,
right.
That's where I'll give.
It takes time.
I'll shoot the guys last week a little bit of bail too, because like they let us through, and then they realized, well, there's 14 other groups behind these guys. Like, we're never going to get finished.
Yeah.
So
what are you supposed to do?
Yeah. What are we supposed to do? Like, I do understand that to an extent too,
Right.
But it jams up the entire course. It's fucky.
I think that also twosomes have the same effect.
Yeah.
Because they have to keep getting let through, and then people are waiting for them to go, and then they're waiting. It's just it's shitty, but part of golf. It's part of it being busy now. There's going to be some shenanigans.
Barrett said, did they not realize they were playing slow?
The slow people never do, I don't think.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I really don't know. But at the same time,
I don't have these answers, man. I'm sorry.
No. And at the same time, it's like we know that, like, even what we talked about the last half hours, like the game of golf is growing. There's more people coming into the game. There's more people that need to like learn the rules, because that's golf. Like, there's no referee out there. There's a marshal, but like most courses around here don't have marshals. So people just have to kind of learn on their own. And I think that that's a big, like, that's why I said that the fix your divot segment is actually a big net plus for people, you know, and whether it comes from this podcast or not, I think that anybody who's putting golf content out there actually should put an emphasis on teaching people like golf etiquette. I think that that's a big part of the game.
Yeah.
Reggie yawns.
Yeah, I'm battling. Starting to get a TBH, but we could keep going. I think that we're going to touch on the new schedule and the new events. I don't know that we have enough time to truly break it down. I don't think we do. A lot of info.
We could probably save that.
There's a lot of info. I think we could save it for a week when we have a little more time. Sure. Not that we had anything to talk about tonight, but.
Well, we talked about Justin Trudeau for a while. We talked about the LC being shut down. But yeah, I think that what are the playoffs? The FedEx playoffs start next week. Is this the last week of egg season?
No, they start this week.
Tomorrow's playoffs.
That's right.
It's on, baby. 5 Canadians in the field. 4. Like, it wraps up with the 4th. 3 events, and then 4th is the moneymaker.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, are we making picks? Yeah.
Okay, so we all get to pick. Did you guys look at the rankings or no?
Yeah.
Okay, everybody gets to pick one favorite and one dark horse. when the guy picks the dark horse, we have to decide if he's truly a dark horse. And if the other two vote that
What's
he
your
isn't,
criteria?
well, if the other two vote that he's not a dark horse, then you have to pick another one.
Okay.
Jory, you shot 69. You get to pick first.
Ooh.
Who's your guy to win the FedEx Cup?
I would like to know what your definition of the dark horse is. I guess. Okay, so you said votes. I'm going to take Xander. I think he's due.
Is that your dark horse or your favorite?
My favorite. Well, dark horse, I guess, if you're asking.
I'm saying win the whole FedEx Cup, not just this event.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
All right. Drums?
Reggie?
Go ahead, Drums. Yeah.
I'm actually going to take. I think I'm gonna go with Keegan.
Wow. Dark horse or?
I think I'm gonna take it as my favorite. He's ranked 8th.
The most absurd.
Could I appeal Xander to be my dark horse?
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's 16th.
Thank you.
So, but that's still your pick.
No.
Yeah.
For
Again,
dark
you just
horse.
went dark horse first.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I'm going Rory.
Rory's your fave.
And then Snake.
I mean,
Draft.
Scotty and Rombo already have like a huge lead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what does the lead do? It just gives you a couple extra strokes in the finals.
Yeah. My dark horse, I'm going J Day.
Ooh, I like that actually.
That's a good pick. Are we counting that as a dark horse though?
He's 11th.
Okay. I'll allow it. You allowed Xander, so I'll allow it. Drums?
I'm back and forth between two.
Are you gonna allow it though?
What?
Day.
Yeah, I was kind of picturing anybody outside the top 10 in my mind.
Okay.
I'm going to go Tommy Fleetwood.
As the winner?
That's my dark horse.
If he gets one win, he could win 2 or 3. That's a good pick.
I like that. Good. Reggie, you up?
No, I picked already. I picked 2. Snake draft. You're up.
I'm taking Vic for my winner.
Vic. That's a good pick as well.
Thank you.
Vicky.
We writing these down somewhere?
That's the craziest thing in the playoff. We just audioed them. We just auto-recorded them.
Yeah, we're not going to remember where it's at, though.
I'll remember exactly you guys picked at the exact time in the pod, probably.
What's on the line?
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think Sats.
Who's your dark horse, Reggie?
JD.
All right.
I think that we're going to make things interesting because it's been a long show. We started with not a lot of golf chat. We're going to reward the people who stuck around, whether on YouTube or Rumble. If you're listening to this at this moment, put your pick in the chat for, doesn't have to be dark horse, put whoever you think is going to win, and one per person. And if you end up winning, you get a free King Golf hat or hoodie of your choice.
Oh,
if you pick the winner.
Hello.
What do we get?
What's that?
What do we get?
We'll bet Sats. Let's put 20, what year is it? 23,000 Sats each on the line. That'll probably be like $10. If anybody picks the winner out of all 6 picks, the other 2 pay him 23,000 sats.
How much is that?
$10.
Make it more.
No, it's 2023. Keep it light. Keep it light. Okay, so Trev says home. Cammy says John Rahm. Pretty good picks for both those guys. Makes me a little nervous.
Yeah, well, when we didn't pick the world number 1.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Yeah.
We left.
I'll check in with Rumble. How we doing, Rumble? See if anybody's there.
Rumble, young man, Rumble.
Well, we got 7 people watching. 8 people watching. No messages though. I'm going to comment on there. Anybody out there? Any picks? Okay, so we only have 2 people writing in so far on YouTube, 0 on Rumble. So I like our odds, boys. If you just tuned in, put your winner of the FedEx Cup outright winner in the chat. Max Home is gone. John Rahm is gone. And if you end up picking the right person, we're going to give you a King Golf hat or hoodie of your choice, whatever you want. And Reggie will take you out for dinner too.
Red Lobster, my treat. This speaks volumes to how absurd it is. Barrett can't pick Rory.
Why? He can.
Rory's been chosen.
Doesn't matter.
No, different.
No. Different
contest.
The group. Yeah.
All right.
Different
Nobody picks
competition.
Scotty Scheffler. He's been the hottest golfer in the whole planet, and nobody's taken him.
That's hilarious.
None of us. Nobody here. If he putted average in the last 15 tournaments, he'd have like 10 wins.
Yeah, but if my aunt had a set of nuts, she'd be my uncle.
Yeah, well. 2023, so she might.
I typed in the Rumble chat any picks, but I spelled it like pictures instead of like a pick. Whoops. You're probably like, who's the idiot typing in this chat right now? Sorry,
Dad pick Chef.
Anybody writing these down?
Well, let's take a picture at the end.
And with that, the 2023 comes to an end. No. How does that go?
Huh?
Scotty is a mental midget with his putting. I just don't understand how you can be that good at golf and that bad at putting.
Really?
Same with like Willie Z.
Tours. What do you mean you can't understand it?
I just don't get it. You should
literally
like,
humans of our caliber struggle with putting.
Who?
Like us. Like we get mental midgets with it.
Well,
now,
yeah,
if the whole world's talking about it.
We're not professionals.
I know, but sign on to Twitter and nobody's talking about us missing a 5-footer at Gilbert. The whole world's talking about how he can't putt. And every putt that he putts, he's probably trying to prove that he's a good putter, and then it's snowballing badly for him.
I don't know about that.
He's still making $30 million a year. I think he's all right.
Sure, we talk about all the time how like putting is like 99% mental. Doesn't matter how good of a player you are. If you can't see the ball going in, it's almost impossible to make when you're struggling like that.
I'd say it's 100% confidence.
Mental.
But in order to get the confidence, you need to know how to read greens, all that kind of stuff. You don't get the confidence just by hanging out. Do you?
No, but it's not like he's not working on it. He's probably overworking on it.
That's where I'm at right now. I can't read a green to save my life.
Really?
Correct.
That's a shitty sport.
Yeah. Like I got, I'm rolling it quite well. My weight has been pretty good, but I cannot put this motherfucker on the right road.
It could be in your feet.
I got to get going on the old aim point, I think.
No. Don't do that. Waters will be on your ass so fast you won't even know it hit you.
I'm not worried about Waters.
The pace of play, please. The PPP. I don't know, drums. Reggie, before we go, let's wrap this up here. But do you have any tips for drums or anybody out there who's having trouble reading greens? Would you have any advice for them?
I would say sometimes it feels like you're missing. You said you're rolling it good. That could just mean that your alignment on your feet is a little off, and you're reading the greens right. But if you're either set up open or closed, you're putting a little extra spin on the ball. So you're thinking that you're putting it on the line that you think, but you're actually spinning it a bit. I talked about it a few, or like probably about 5 or 6 episodes ago. Your feet could just be set up weird, so you are hitting good putts, but your putter and your feet aren't on the same line, so it's putting like an extra spin, which is creating it to break more.
Like you're trying to compensate for it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So like say that you're set up closed and then you're taking your putter inside, then you're going to slice across it, and then it's going to naturally break more left or right than it would if you hit it dead straight on. So you're actually creating more break. And it's almost impossible to make that way because you're pushing it and slicing it. So I would just go to the putting green and put a club down and putt like that for a bit, see if that works.
Drums, when you go to hit a putt, do you like what do you think? Are you like, okay, I know what this is going to do, I just need to hit it there? Or are you like, I'd have no idea what the fuck this is going to do, I'm just going to hit it and hope for the best?
I'd go 70-30. I have a spot I want to hit, and then there's times like where I'll be like, okay, I'll actually walk a bit around and read it from the other side because I've been so off lately or whatever with it. And then it's like, I don't even know what the fuck this is doing now. That makes me worse.
Yeah.
Because I'm reading it like 6 different ways.
And see, I think the best thing in that scenario, I mean, I'm not the perfect putter to tell you what to do or not, but like I said the same thing to Reggie on the weekend because he was kind of struggling with his tee shots and his swing, and I was just like, whenever I'm doing that, like all you have to basically get rid of everything. You just need to focus 100% on the target. And like you've golfed enough, you're athletic enough, your body knows what to do to get it there. You don't have to think about anything else. Just focus on the target. And I feel like it's the same for the putt. Like when you first walk up there, what do you see? And then just kind of form your putt off of that instead of trying to read it to the exact centimeter that you need to be on. Just like look up, see if it's going left or right, hit a putt. If you hit a good putt, there's a good chance it goes in. But you know, the more you sit over top of it, the more bad thoughts you have in your head and the more confused you get. And then once you're there, just commit to that and that's it. I mean, it definitely won't make things worse, right?
Right, yeah.
And I also think that if you can't read a putt which way it's going, just hit it straight. That's Rora's favorite tip.
True.
Yeah,
if you're not sure which way it's going, it probably doesn't go either way that much.
Shout out to Mom for that tip. That is a really good tip. That's saved me a lot of strokes through the years. It's a good rule of thumb. If you don't know which way it breaks, just hit it straight. So with that,
another hour and a half. That's probably it, eh, boys?
We got Robbie's wedding this weekend, finally, after 3 years.
Oh, yeah. Get so not caught up, but get so like...
So much other shit going on.
Stuck in like, there's a wedding every weekend, so you're like...
Yeah.
You just think it's another wedding, and then you realize who's going to be at that wedding, so you kind of get excited like midweek. But you dread it. I don't know. I'm pumped now, actually.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun time. It's supposed to be a really nice venue, too.
Through a pandemic. So shout out to Robbie. Looking forward to it. Robbie just like ghosted the boys in the chat, or he stopped talking. One of the two.
Or he's probably just busy in summer. He's planning a wedding right now. He's probably,
he's probably getting married or something.
Not that much free time.
We need our fact checker back.
Boys. Okay, drums. Take us out of here.
All right. Okay. Like we said, we're out of here. We got a wedding to get to for the weekend. And then playoffs start next week. Reggie, when do you guys start playoffs?
We started last night. We were in the Seaside and we lost, so we're completely out.
That's it? That's all? All right.
Yeah. Lost in the last hole. We were actually 4 down with 5. 4 down with 6 to go last night, and we tied it up on 17, and then we lost on 18. So we made a hell of a
That's
run.
not bad though. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good run.
Yeah, and then lost to 19, but it is what it is.
Alrighty, we are out of here for this week. We will check in with everybody next week. Full recap of the wedding festivities, all the fun that we had, and all the golf that we played. We're out of here for this week. Love you, boys. Peace out. Later.
See you, fellas.
Love you, fellas.